can't really measure the Jersey Delta in miles or square feet. It's not something that you're going to find if you look for it on a map. It's not like you're going to be driving down the road and see a sign that says, "Welcome to the Jersey Delta." But the people who live in the Delta know where they're from, and it's more of a cultural thing than anything else. Some people refer to the Jersey Delta as the Deadwood of the East. You know, no law in Deadwood. And, it was like that for a long time around here. The state of New Jersey never really policed the area until recently. And they didn't really start keeping any official records around here until sometime around World War II. It's kind of like the land that New Jersey forgot, The population here in the Delta is so diverse and so hip to each other's ways that sometimes it seems almost like it's a little nirvana. You can still hear live music of all different kinds. You can hear music on street corners, fish fries and bonfires and barbecues. And music is just a huge part of the everyday life around here. It's passed down one generation to the next. To my knowledge, no one's ever recorded or released a record of songs that are done in the traditional style of the Jersey Delta. It's like the best kept secret in the music world. I think it's really an interesting and a very eclectic kind of sound. It features everything from guitars to horn sections and twin fiddles, accordions, harmonicas, homemade percussion instruments. You make them out of anything that you can find around the yard or around the farm. I know a couple guys who still play songs on the Bloody Magoo. Now, most people don't know what that is, but it's a traditional folk instrument that, to my knowledge, it's unique to the Delta. And you still find a couple people that play the Handsome Dougie. It's another instrument that I don't think they have anywhere else. Now, this is a record that took 5 years to make, because we wanted it to feature the finest players and singers in the Delta, the best that we had to offer. And we recorded enough tracks probably, for 2 or 3 records, but, Hard Luck Stories is just round 1. We hope everybody likes it. We hope they enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. And, hopefully we'll see you for round 2 as well. So, is that good? All right, we're talking with Benny Harrison.
This is Benny Harrison.
Producer, keyboard aficionado, guitar player, percussionist, arranger, vocalist, songwriter. Benny, let me ask you something. Where did all these talents come from? Were you formally trained when you were a kid, or self-taught, or did you learn from other musicians? Where did you get your chops?
I was taught. My mom, I played a piano piece when I was like, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years old. My mother and my father were down in West Virginia visiting my father's cousins. And she said she heard somebody playing piano, and looked around the corner, it was me.
Now, I understand that from reading the liner notes and talking to some people, that there was more than 25 musicians actually played on this record. How were you able to gather up so many talented people And what was that process like? Was it easy to get them to come in?
Well, you know what? Over the years, being one of the mainstay musicians, I guess, in New York, one of them, there's many in New York City, but I've worked with almost every one of these people. I worked with everybody. Bob came in. Once Bob started getting on his songwriting mode, it was just, it was like we just had songs. So we got into a really good role there for many years. Even now, we still got stuff that's not on this record yet, and stuff yet to record.
What's the process like? How do you figure out what
Well, let me see if Ben Cole is around, and we'll get him to come down. I'll share the process with you. Okay.
That sounds great.
Ben Cole, where are you, dude? Come on down. What's happening? You okay? Yeah. There's the man, the myth and the magic. Look, I want to share with our viewers how we worked on these songs, man. Especially the harmonies, okay? So why don't we do one that we did a cappella. All right, why don't you start it?
Banks of the Arkansas.
On the banks of the Arkansas.
You want me to just start singing?
Yeah, you start singing.
The prettiest little girl that ever I saw stood on the banks of the Arkansas, and her hair was red and her eyes was green. She's the prettiest little girl that ever I seen.
Do that one more time. Let me hear that one more time.
The prettiest little girl that ever I saw stood on the banks of the Arkansas, and her hair was red and her eyes was green. She's the prettiest little girl that ever I seen.
All right.
That's about how we do it.
That's how we do it. Yeah.
All right, we're talking with Jimmy Ryan. Jimmy is known as, if not the finest, one of the finest pedal steel players in all of New Jersey and the entire East Coast. Jimmy, tell us something. New Jersey's not really known for pedal steel. How did you get involved in this?
Well, it used to be, like, New Jersey used to be called the country rock state by Chris Hillman from the Byrds. I think I was at Rutgers, we went to see Poco. Went to see the Moody Blues, and Poco was the opening act, so I saw Rusty Young playing dobro and pedal steel, and that's kind of what I wanted to do after I saw that. There was a lot of friends I made at Rutgers early days. Everybody had a Maverick or a kind of a little Showbutt steel, and that's how I got into it. I just, when I heard it, I thought that's something I want to learn how to do.
Yeah, you're still, you play with Kinderhook now, is that right?
Yes.
I know when I was a kid, Kinderhook was Kinderhook Creek back then, but Kinderhook's been around for a long time, right?
Yeah. I actually went to high school with the bass player, and later I found out he was in Kinderhook. I was playing steel guitar for Cowtown at the time, and years later, it just happened that when they were getting back together, I had seen, I guess, their sound man, Carl, and I said, if they need a steel player, somebody to sit in for a couple of tunes, I'd be really up for that. And so I got the call. So I started playing with it a little bit.
Jimmy, a lot of people don't understand how a pedal steel works. Could we just, maybe you could just show us around the instrument a little bit and explain it?
Well, it's an E9 tuning, has some chromatic strings in the top, so it's an E. First two pedals gives you your 4 chords, so you're 1 to the A chord, so you're E to the A chord. Then you have a pedal and a knee lever. I don't know if you see, you have knee levers down here. Gives you your 5/7. So. have some Chromatic Street. Chromatics were put on the guitar by Buddy Emmons, I think in like the 60s, 63 or so, because he wanted a cascade of notes.
That's a beautiful sound. Now, I remember reading once where Jerry Garcia said that it would take a lifetime for him to learn to play the pedal steel. Do you still practice? Do you still have to update all your chops, or is it something that you just have once you get it?
I was talking with someone on Facebook, and we were talking about this Buddy Emmons lick, and I wound up in a conversation on a thread with, among other people, someone from plays steel guitar for Emmylou Harris, Steve Fischel, and we were all posting about how do you get this lick, because I used to play it this Buddy Emmons lick like that, and Steve goes, no, Buddy showed me. So it's a combination of, I was doing it with all bar movement, he was doing, it's really a combination of bar movement and picking and pedal action. So you still find like that little sweet little lick that you were looking for when you were a kid,
right.
And somebody shows you, well, it's Buddy showed me it's this. So we're still practicing.
Who are your favorite steel players, if you have to name them?
I like John Call from Pure Prairie League. I liked Buddy Emmons, Rusty Young. I like Jerry. You know, a lot of stuff that Jerry did. That's kind of like Jerry Garcia again. So when the Showboat book says step on pedals 1 and 2, Jerry was playing 2 and 3. That's kind of the Jerry sound. So it was an easy thing to do, but when you got into it, well, that's still a cool sound.
Well, listen, Jimmy, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for
All right, we're here with Kevin Hadley. Now, my understanding is that you have a long history with the other players on this Jackson Lights record, that it goes back to many, many years ago. And this is not just a business kind of relationship. This is more like family than anything. Is that fair to say?
That is very fair to say. It's just the best thing that I think I've ever been involved with musically. And considering the way it sounded to me when I recorded it, and the way it sounds now on the CD is phenomenal.
Now, a lot of people have commented on the slide guitar solo on Pagan Blues and said that it sounds, it's one of the highlights of this record. How long did you rehearse that solo?
Actually, I didn't. I'm kind of famous for not doing my homework. I came in and I just played it. That's what I felt at the moment, so that's what I played.
So that was completely unrehearsed?
Off the cuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what about touring? Is there any touring ahead for the band?
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah.
Especially now I'm unemployed, and I would really like to play guitar for the rest of my life, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I understand that here in the Delta there's a lot of unemployed guitar players. They're all major league players, but it's just hard to make a living unless you're playing at fish fries or barbecues.
That's why we got the sawmill.
Yes, sir. No, sir. The water's getting closer than ever. Plaquemines Parish, all the way up to the Bayonne Piers. And it's going to wash us all away, man. It's going to wash it all away if we don't stand up together. And, it's a hell of a life, man. It's, it just keeps rolling along, But here in the Delta, it just kind of rolls at a different pace. I'm not ashamed that I work in a sawmill. Shit, I'm happy just to be working at all. I'm just another guy who works hard all day so I can kick back and sing and play and have a few drinks every chance I get. If the truth be told, I don't always work all that hard. Our record company put together a really nice webpage, JerseyDeltaRecords.com, I hope people will check it out because I think it really captures the feel of what the Delta is like. Nothing too fancy, you know, but just right. That's the way we do, you know. That's the way we do.
Cut the pickle, tickle, tickle, tell Mrs. Vanderbilt I'm never coming back. But if she was so bad in high, dear,